still pick up on it. They'll pick up on the heat sense, and we're relying on an awful lot of that stuff. So,
what level of confidence do you have that he is not in that same area where you began to serve?
You know, the sheriff and I discussed this, and the teams that were out there, leaving no stone unturned. We're very confident the area is clear.
Yes.
And we believe that he has broke that perimeter, and he's taken off. But we still believe that he's locally within this regional area.
What level of concern do you have about him coming into contact with innocent citizens that are out there, whether it's someone in a car, someone in their home? What would you say to folks in that case?
Well, fortunately, in that particular situation, we know that this guy wants to be as far away from us as possible. He's well aware that there's a warrant for his arrest. Even when the Marshals team attempted to apprehend him this morning, the desperateness of him in an attempt to get out of there, he knows that we are looking for him. So therefore, not in anybody's backyard. I think he's looking to make sure that he's away from everybody and probably seeking, old places of refuge, friends or somebody else like that to look for wherever he may be hiding. For him to be approaching somebody in the general public, I think we would believe is a very low possibility at this time, due to the fact is that his picture has been out there. He's well aware that we're looking for them. The Marshal's office is offering a reward for that, and so therefore I think he's going to have to revert to people that he knows very closely, and I find it highly improbable that he would approach a regular citizen.
Sheriff, can you or Brian shed some light on his criminal background and what was the underlying crime behind the parole violation?
Actually, I'm not sure of that right now, and I apologize, but we were looking at criminal past in regards to his past escapes that he has had. Well, I mean, is avoiding arrest, not an official escape in terms of the legal sense, but he's a known runner. And we were looking at those prior cases that we had and then looking into the history to find out how he ran. So we were focusing on that today, too, to see what his past would divulge.
Last question here. Can you describe that background of him being a runner?
Well, it's just coming in confrontation with the police, paranoia setting in, and so therefore he just doesn't want to be apprehended, and he's been pretty good at it in the past. So.
Are you at liberty to discuss any of that, what his reputation is?
Well, not right now, because those are what we're actually using as leads to follow up in an attempt to locate him. So,
where's he from?
Actually, all from over the Lorain County area. He's lived in multiple places within Northeast Ohio. Last known address was
Lorain.
Yeah, it's been.
This is his hot spot.
Right. And due to the fact that he's been on the run from the police many times, there is no. I don't think the U.S. Census has tracked him down, Jack, to a specific location in Northeast Ohio. So.
Is there any evidence that he might have stolen a vehicle or any property damage that indicates that he might have been somewhere?
Fortunately, we have had 0 reports of anybody's vehicle being stolen, no reports of anybody's property being damaged or anything else. So nothing at this time has that indicated any of that as a possibility.
Was that his vehicle today that he ran with, I assume, and then was it dented because he crashed into the patrol cars?
Well, it was not registered to him, but we don't know if that was through a lease or if it was through anybody else. So, but it was the vehicle he was driving, but we're not sure that he had an ownership interest in it.
And when Marshals cornered him, Jay, was he in the car or was he out of the car and jumped in?
He was in the vehicle.
Okay.
Jack, even if he's not looking to, take someone's car or go in their house, what would you just say to anyone in Lorain County that happens to see this character running around?
Well, this character or anything, it's like always, if you see something, say something. And a lot of times incidents happen outside of even what's going on today, that we don't get calls from residents because they think that we don't want to be bothered with something. Please, we do want to be bothered. It's what our job is to do, is to service the public. The Marshal's job to make sure that these people are apprehended. So anything suspicious, we'll take any tip, to come into the, a toll-free number or into even Lorain County 911 to let us know if you see something suspicious.
For you and Brian, when it involves an assault on a police officer, like the original incident and then this morning, can you describe how law enforcement and any agency, when they hear about that, how they respond to it? And that's probably why you really got a lot of folks out there today working on this.
I think we'll agree that anyone that shows a history of assault on law enforcement, especially when they're evading capture, is going to be a risk, right? And when we do assessments and we brief cases, what is their criminal history like? Have they fought with police before? Because on our team, everybody on the sheriff's team knows this. And we're going to be extra especially cautious when we're coming in contact with him and relaying that to the public that, his previous assaults on law enforcement was directed at us. And if you do see him, call 911. We'll keep it real simple. We have a great tip line, number 1-866-4-WANTED, but call 911. We'll keep it real simple. We'll get folks out there. The sheriff will get people out there, and we want to bring this to closure, Jack.
And would you have a message for Meadows for a safe resolution where he doesn't get hurt and no one else gets hurt.
Without a doubt, like, we agree on this as well. You know, hey, I don't think you realized what happened when you did it. Maybe you got caught in the moment, but it's not going away, all right? You yourself and your family, there's family members that care about you, that have already been in touch with us, that want to make sure this comes to closure. Think about them. Think about them, turn yourself in, and we'll treat you with the respect that you deserve by owning it. Owning it right now, and turn yourself in, and we will treat you with that respect. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you. Anybody else?
How long would you say you guys had that perimeter blocked off today? Like from what time roughly to when it was called off?
Well, we actually started setting the perimeter up approximately 8:15 this morning, and then we probably left the perimeter, I want to say probably around 2:30, 2:45, so it was quite a while we were out there. All right. Anybody else? All right, thank you all so much.
We just want to get the major in Spanish.
Oh, perfect.
1-800-1866.
1866. Okay.
896.
Okay. 1-866-141.
9800.
Brian, what's your last name? S-I-T-U.
Basically, what you want to explain what he did as far as we secured it.
All she asked was just a quick bite is fine about the manhunt being called off.
Okay, but then I'll tell him about the 1-800.
Yeah, absolutely.
One.